72 points for the Lakers, 60 points for Denver. LA was able to cut into the deficit quite a bit, had the ball with a chance to tie, couldn't quite get it done. Denver ended up winning 132-126. But having rewatched a good bit, a little chunks. I haven't just rewatched the game in order, which is what we're going to do here tonight. But having taken a look at, what did the Vando minutes look like? What do the D'Lo minutes look like? What did the post-ups look like? What did the ball screens for Jamal Murray look like? And going through that, logging some of that, I was able to learn a lot. And I want to, tonight, we're going to go through, we'll start with the Lakers offense. We'll watch all of their half-court offense. And then we'll move to the Denver Nuggets half-court offense. And throughout, as we see key concepts that we think are pertinent, I'll be diagramming those. And we'll talk through some of what the Lakers did to slow down Denver's offense and what I expect Denver to do in order to try to counter what the Lakers figured out in game. It was frustrating. It was disappointing that our podcast was a half ahead of the Lakers tactically. That shouldn't be the case. I like to think we do a really good job. I want to be able to describe the game well and help you watching understand what's happening, why it's happening, what might happen next. And we've done a really good job of that so far these playoffs. If we haven't, I would let you know. I was disappointed to see LA open the game with this 3-guard lineup that we're about to watch, and it just kind of put themselves in a little bit of a hole. So tonight we're going to be watching. We're using some synergy film here. So what we're going to do is watch the Lakers half-court offense, possession after possession. If it gets a little choppy, like I'm pausing it right now, you might see times where I'm skipping around. This is me manipulating the film. There may also be times where, since I haven't downloaded the video clips, it's a little tiny bit laggy. But we are going to figure out what the Lakers are doing. We get a down screen into AD. We're going to get a flare screen. Lakers are looking for a lob on this play. Denver defended it well, so they get the ball to D'Lo, float into a ball screen. And we've got Jokic at the level of the screen with an over. Right here is open. Let's see what D'Lo does. Ooh, D'Lo goes to Reeves instead. Okay, he misses. Braun gets the ball, offensive rebound, layup. And this is going to be a theme of what we see here tonight. When the Lakers are able to attack the rim, and I know this is a 2v1, and this is Nikola Jokic. He knows he can't get in foul trouble. Despite him knowing he can't get in foul trouble, he still ended up with 4 fouls. But there are going to be a lot of times where the Lakers, once they get to the rim, they've won already. Getting to the rim is the key offensively, because you're not going to face strong rim protection, because the strong rim protection for Denver isn't strong, and it's coming from a guy who knows he cannot get in foul trouble. We see that here. First play of the game, he's not going to take a stupid foul. Note, synergy will, anytime there's an offensive rebound, they'll split it into a separate clip. So here we go. This is a play I didn't like. I know what's going to happen here. D'Lo right now decides I'm going to shoot. And what's wrong here? So the first thing is I don't need, I'm not going to do that. First thing I notice here, we've got 18 seconds left on the shot clock. This is an unnecessary shot. This shot, a pull-up mid-range contested shot. There are times where this is the shot to take. Late clock, you want to have guys on the court that can take and make this shot. That raises the floor for your offense. But with 18 seconds left on the clock, this is an unnecessary shot. What compounds the fact that it's an unnecessary shot is we don't have any Lakers anywhere close to getting an offensive rebound. 80's at the three-point line. LeBron's at the logo. Dennis is outside the three-point line. Reeves is at the three-point line. No one's getting an offensive rebound. So you are capping the ceiling of this possession based on the shot you're taking, when you're taking it, and where the players are. Now, if you had guys here, here, and here, and you're taking the shot, yeah, you've got an opportunity to get an offensive rebound. This shot, when it's taken, to me, is an inexcusable shot. This is something that needs to be taken out of the Lakers offense. D'Lo, this game, 4 post-up scoring possessions. 4 plays he took a shot, got to the free throw line, committed a turnover. 4 times he took shots like this, and he scored 2 points. And it's not good offense. It's not what the Lakers want, and I want to see a little bit less of that moving forward. That's just cutting out the fat in your offensive approach. Here we've got AD going at Jokic 1v1. We've got a basically 5-out freelance here. And 5-out freelance against the Denver Nuggets in the regular season for the Lakers. Denver was missing a couple guys. LA had a different roster. But 5-out freelance against this Denver's team, scored 1.11 points per possession. Pretty darn good. That's really good for half court. AD is able to get to this shot. Not really contested. Pretty close in. Not an awful shot. You could do better. I wouldn't consider that getting to the rim. You could do worse. Not a huge fan. Here we see KCP overplay what looked like it was supposed to be a down screen for D'Lo. We get Braun setting a screen for Reeves. Look at this easy switch. Denver's just conceding switches that they're not making you have to work for it. So now LeBron is looking to attack. On the weak side, Dennis is setting a pin and flare for D'Lo, just trying to draw these defenders out. Realistically, LeBron's not going to make this pass, and you're going to score from there. Not yet, anyway. Not with where the players are. But look at Aaron Gordon. He's really sagging in hard. This is something that this type of help against the Lakers is going to be effective because both LeBron and AD are face-up guys. They're going to look at the rim, they're going to see the floor, and they're going to try to drive this way, or this way, or this way, and then spin back over. That's how they're looking to attack. Jokic, when he posts up, he's back to the basket, straight line to the rim, under control. Don't commit an offensive foul, but get closer to the rim so I can improve my shot. But this right here is an effective form of defense against LeBron. Let's see what the Lakers go to here. Does he kick it out to Reeves? Does AD set a pin and flare screen? Or does LeBron just go away from it? He tries to go away from it, spin back. That's a tough shot with less than 2 seconds on the clock. Again, when the shot goes up, AD's outside the free throw line. Low opportunity for an offensive rebound. This is part of why beating the ice defense, which we're going to see here in a little bit, I would imagine quite soon, maybe a play or two. I can't imagine we're not going to see it. Okay, so we get a down screen for LeBron. As I was saying, beating the ice defense, getting those middle drives, those roll opportunities, that's so key for this Lakers offense. If you can't rebound, you're not going to be able to make the most of your offensive possessions. LeBron, very deep three, uncontested, no good. He's short. I don't love it. It's pretty far out. And it's for a guy who, other seasons has been a really good three-point shooter. This season hasn't been so great. Here, I'm not really sure what Jokic thinks is happening. We've got some cross-matching. This isn't a zone because if it were a zone, the positioning of the specific players would make no sense. But AD's able to attack. He's got Jamal Murray in front of him, able to get right to the rim and score. Did he get fouled? Pretty light contact, if anything. Next possession, we get a switch, and Murray is kind of overplaying middle. This gets the ball to AD. This is a delay look. So we've got 5 out, ball pass from the wing to the top of the key. This is what we call delay. And we see just a switch back. AD going 1v1. Is able to draw the foul there. Okay. Let's see, what do we get on this play? Ball screen, middle drive. Ooh, I don't like that. So here, KCP is rotating down, but he's able to rotate back. D'Lo not really in a ready position. Look at Reeves. Reeves is in a ready position. Like, he's got his hands ready. He's ready for a pass. He's in a stance. He's crouched down a little bit. D'Lo's an observer right now. But KCP is also not taking away the actual drive here. What I want to see from Dennis is continue pressuring. I know you've got 1, 2, 3 defenders kind of engaged, but nobody's stopping you. If you can get in a little bit deeper and get to the point where you're here, this guy has to be in front of you. And now KCP has to defend 1, 2 players. You're in a much better situation because you're going to pass out to the first guy. They're probably going to pass over to the second guy. And I doubt Porter's going to be able to recover. But instead, we see Dennis pass out early. His poor playmaking was on display a good bit this game. And actually, nice quick pass from D'Lo. And Reeves does have a closeout to attack. That's a really bad closeout. but Denver recovers. No advantage. Braun drives. Denver's in position. No good. And we see it lead to transition. From a transition standpoint, that was something that really got the Denver offense going. And if we look at their transition plays by quarter, they had in quarter one 10 transition possessions. In quarter two, they had 9 transition scoring possessions. In quarter three, they had 2. In quarter four, they had 2. So first half, they had 19. Second half, they had 4. This is a huge difference, Q1 or half one to half two. Something we'll keep an eye out for. The Lakers didn't really turn the ball over much this game overall, either half, but taking bad shots, just being less effective offensively, fuels what on the regular season was that's not a really good one, the number one transition scoring offense in the NBA. That was the Denver Nuggets this year. Can't be giving them transition looks. LA was actually more effective than Denver in transition. Here we get horns, elbow. This is usually a look where one of two things will happen. Either we will see down screen, stagger, while over here you dribble over into a handoff, or if it's overplayed, a back cut. If the handoff 3 isn't there, if the defense goes under, you take the 3. If the defense trails over, you look to drive middle, and you've got a baseline roll, and you look to get some action that way. And the goal really is keep all the help defense over here, and let's play this action 2v2. Instead of that, we see the Lakers go to a down screen. And so let's see here. Dennis's job is to screen Nikola Jokic, it looks like. How well does he do at that? So he's there. Jokic just doesn't, AD doesn't move. I don't like this execution. No advantage. Inverted pick and roll, no advantage. Nothing. Right here, AD's got to go. You got to go, man. It's not like Jokic fought over this and is in position and then you can back cut or like there's no advantage to catching here. I know he hits a 3 off of this later in the game, but pressure the defense. Make Jokic have to defend on the move. Poor rim protection. Who's defending the rim here? Does Porter help over? And then you got Reeves, who's been a very good 3-point shooter. Like, run the play. Don't abort the play. Not a fan. So early, it's 18-9. Lakers offense not looking good. Here we get, a middle ball screen. We're able to attack middle, and Dennis, way too early with the shot. This is the problem I have with Dennis. This game had a lot of these bad decisions. He's got to take one more dribble and stop here, make Jokic defend him, and then open up this lob. Or we see Reeves here's lifting. Gordon's the man to read. All you have to do is take one more dribble. This guy's out of the picture. You're probably not getting to the rim. These guys are out of the picture. These guys are out of the picture. This guy's trailing. So the real advantage we have here is this one guy on 1-2, and we read him. If he goes in, we're going to Reeves. If he stays home, we're throwing the lob. This should be the read on this play. But instead of that, Dennis shoots the pull-up. And the one redeeming quality here is 80's in the paint, but this is not a good shot. I did not like Dennis's playmaking this game. His decision-making was poor. All right, so here looks like we had a sideline inbounds to AD, and then immediately this back screen for D'Lo okay, no, not a back screen. This is now a Chicago action down screen into the handoff. Overplayed, so D'Lo back cuts. We now have a switch. Now Dennis should be able to get a handoff and drive middle. The handoff's a little sloppy. He doesn't catch the ball. Advantage gone. On the clock. Step up. We see Porter help pretty aggressively off of Reeves. Dennis doesn't see it. We get the ball over to Reeves. He ends up hitting this shot here, I believe, right? Yeah, this is the one he banks in. This was a bullshit shot. This guy's rotating over real heavy. You got to hit Reeves here if you're Dennis. Because why are you passing to LeBron? LeBron has no advantage. All right, next play, we've got Rui in the game now. Rui with a step-up screen, takes his time, and then he kind of rolls into creating the mismatch here on the ISO. Drives and just loses the ball. We saw him. Oh, no, that's KCP stripping it. Good strip by KCP. This is not what you're looking for from Rui. This is take your time, back him down, get all the way to the rim. Against a mismatch like this, that's what I want to be seeing from the Lakers. And that's what we saw in the second half. Next play here. Block the ball. Yeah, Jokic doesn't really fall for this little hesitation and go. Good defense. Here we get a snap action, that cross screen for the out into a double drag. And here's the first, we get a switch in the ice. So for those who haven't been here, with this ice coverage, what I mean by that is we want to run a ball screen so that D'Lo can get middle, and then AD can roll hard on this side, and this guy can probably lift up. Instead of allowing that, KCP, he's here. AD's trying to set the screen for D'Lo to go this way. KCP's overplaying it, so now D'Lo can't he can either go way around and there's no advantage, or he can attack baseline. By doing so, if D'Lo attacks this way, now AD's rolling this way, and I mean generally where you're doing this, you have two defenders here, and it's better for the offense or better for the defense. On this play, perhaps not as much. Let's see what happens. Ooh, am I freezing up? What's going on here? Okay, I'd like you to go away now. There we go. He drives down the sideline in a bad shot. LA has no counter, no approach. They didn't try to flip the screen. They're just happy to take this with 11 on the clock. This is a bad shot. Here, Rui again. Screen. Denver's giving up easy switches. Step up screen. Skip pass, okay. Now Rui's got, look at this nice steal. This is what you want to see. I've drawn this up before. When you're post pinning like this, defender's legs are this way. You're setting up this way. You want to make that T. Make that T, and then the post feed should go here, and he'll be able to get a bucket. That's what you're looking to do. Beautiful pass. Great steal by Rui. As a former big man, that's what I like to see. Bad screen. This is not a good screen. And then doesn't really roll hard. He's just taking his time. Catches the ball. Decent position here. Jokic with a nice strip. Yeah, so I was a big man for most of my playing career, and then my junior year of high school became a guard because everybody else kept growing and I did not. And at 6'3", I became a guard. All right, middle ball screen. This is what we're looking for. Empty side. By empty, I mean there's nobody standing in the corner, so there's no defender here to tag AD. But look at the bodies. Look at all the bodies around LeBron. What are we going to do here? What's available? It's just right through everybody. Nice play. Jeff Green's too small. Jokic is not trying to actually guard LeBron. He makes one stunt at him and then recovers to AD to take the lob away. Brown and Murray are out of the play. LeBron's got kick out options, but he'll take the layup instead. That's how bad this Denver defense is at the interior. If you can just get there, you're going to do well. And we saw the Lakers do that by shooting 85% at the rim or something like that this game. Another easy switch. Go to the post up. Again, we've got the defender right here. You just need to take your time and slowly back it down. You won't be able to drive this way. If you try to drive baseline, you don't have all that much space. And we see Murray playing LeBron to spin baseline. And Brown is here to help. No, he's not. Ooh, okay. Nice move by LeBron. I was thinking he'd end up spinning and then ending up over here. He's able to just do it. Yeah, nice move. Again, ice defense. As soon as they think there's going to be a ball screen towards the middle, so LeBron says, fine, I'll just post up Jeff Green. Oh, yuck. Not much of an advantage here. There's a heavy stunt that he has to face. This guy's helping over heavily. Christian Brown comes in, is able to knock it away. AD and Jokic get tied up. Transition for Denver. Less than a minute left here in the fourth. This is LA going for 2 for 1. What this shot is. It's not a great shot, but it's them going for 2 for 1. And it works out because they get the last shot here. Again, easy switch. And LeBron late clock. Against Murray, Jokic is not in the game. These guys are all tiny. Just take your time. Easy shot. Okay, so that's 1 quarter of the game for the Lakers offense. Let's go to Q2. We're going to watch only the Lakers half-court offense, and then we will be getting into the Denver offense. I think there's plenty to be interested in there, seeing how the Lakers defended. So opening the second quarter here, I'm going to tweet out the link one more time. Let's see here. We are live. Breaking down Q2, game 1. All right. Denver offense, handoff, nice help rim protection here from Rui. Beautiful. No foul. Lakers can try to run 5v4. This is not well executed. None of these guys cut to the rim, so these 2 players are able to defend the 3. Denver recovers. Rui already has the mismatch, doesn't need to go set a ball screen. I like Lonnie clearing out. This gives Rui the drive that way, which he takes. Oh, man. Look at all the guys he goes through. Jesus. Like, Lonnie might be open here. Vando's hanging out in the dunker spot. This is a tough possession. Jeez. That's special. And this was the theme for the game. Post-ups were effective. Here's LeBron just digging in. Oh, I would have liked to repost. Give it right back to him. Pass it right back here. Get Gordon's momentum going this way. Give LeBron another chance. Smart move to not shoot it, but that one's a bad shot. Repost. 13 on the clock. Repost. Vando gets sunned there, and then Brown goes down the other way and scores. Here we get Vando set a screen. Again, Denver switching. They set a screen again. Denver switches just right back. So I don't. This is some of the screening from Vando that makes no sense to me. In this team in general, sometimes they'll get the mismatch and then they'll just screen again. Here, Lonnie just loses the ball completely. I don't. No notes. I don't know what to say about that. Not a real screen. Switched anyway. Switched. Just lots of switching. Switch. Lakers able to attack the mismatch. Bron takes his time. See him. That's his gather. 1-2 layup. Easy. Here's Rui. Oh, Rui's trying to post pin. Instead, we'll go to LeBron again. Nice. Dennis with the blow by. A little chaos here, though. And this is, I want to point out, this is Vando's man. This is Jared Vanderbilt's man. Brown moves down. This Brown zones up. Jared Vanderbilt's man able to disrupt this attack here on the game. I tallied these up. There were 20 possessions Jared Vanderbilt was in the game offensively. In those 20 possessions, there were 3 drives and 2 rolls where his man was just able to completely leave him alone at the 3-point line and cut off the Lakers' offensive attacks with absolutely no repercussions whatsoever. That's a 25% rate of his lack of gravity disrupting the offense. It's been worse. It was worse last round. But you want to see it be better. He only attempted to set 2 pin and flare screens on the game. One of them was not used. The other one, he committed an offensive foul. The rim frequency was lower when he was on court than when he was off the court. Offensively, he hurt the Lakers. We'll talk about his defense when we get to the defense, though, because there were some good things he did. Here, though, we do see he's able to get the ball. For whatever reason, Bruce Brown stays on the non-shooter. Rui gets the 3, puts it in. We get a switch? Yep, we got a step-up screen to switch. Middle attack. Again, Dennis is giving the ball up too early. This isn't, it's not necessarily wrong. AD, he's able to catch it. He's open. I want Dennis to take one more dribble and then throw the lob. Throw the lob. That's what I want to see here. It's an okay shot. It should be a dunk. Screen, switch. Denver just switching everything immediately. Oh, nice play by LeBron. Dennis misses him. Bad shot. 7 on the clock. LeBron's calling for it. He has Jamal Murray on him. Lonnie Walker also this game, decision-making wise, was not the best. But he did hit his threes, though. He went 2 for 4 on his threes. We'll watch this one. That was one of the only good defending Jokic 1v1 plays. Here on offense, just for a second here, it looks like this is going to be a ball screen. We see, look at AD, he shuffles. Murray starts icing. Easy. I think in this matchup, with the personnel Denver has, it is a completely viable route to actually just drive, engage Jokic, and then hit the dump off to AD. Draw to attack the 4v3 on the weak side. This isn't a team that has great rim protection. Here it draws a foul. Whew. Dennis with a blow by, draws help. We've got on the weak side here, we have Jeff Green guarding LeBron and Lonnie Walker. Dennis with a no-look off-target pass to LeBron. Gets to AD and he puts this in, but this should have been an open corner 3 or a dunk, and instead we get a AD post hook. He puts it in, but Dennis is playmaking again. The blow by is good. Just the passing not as good. Let's see. Not even a real screen. They're switching it anyway. Dennis setting a pin in his flare. Weak side. Help. Kick out. Reeves 3. Almost. Decent look. What I would like is AD cutting to the rim here. Give yourself a chance for an offensive rebound. Screen, switch. It's part of what got the Lakers out of their half-court set play offense, is just Denver switching everything. LA's got a couple concepts to attack switching. Step up, side ball screen. They're not switching these, though. Jokic is in the action. They're not switching those. Porter does a really good job here, walling LeBron off. He has to kick it out. Reeves attacks the closeout right by KCP. It's late clock. He's got plenty of time. He doesn't know KCP's given up on the play. Not an awful look for being late clock. Oh, my Lord. Oh, God. Look at this. Slow motion, this one. Look at this pass. Whoop. Beautiful. Whoop. I love it. Reeves driving baseline, engaging the defenders. 80 doesn't get anywhere near the rim. 8 on the clock. Screen. Look at LeBron. Look, he knows this is a switch, so his screening angle, look at this pivot, and then this little light push off. He has the inside position on his new defender. But Porter does a good job helping in. Now Reeves is kind of the man open, but who is KCP? He's right there. D'Lo hangs on to it. Step up. Again, look at this. Who is Bruce Brown supposed to be guarding here? He takes away the roll man. I guess Dennis is the guy that's potentially open. Skip pass and then went over to Reeves. Instead, D'Lo's able to actually get to a decent look here. Look, Jokic is not trying to contain. He's running back towards the rim this whole time. So an uncontested midi. LeBron might have been open under the hoop there. Again, jumping out to ice. So AD flips the screen. Not a ton of contact. Ooh, pass too hot from D'Lo. AD attacking 1v1. Goes right into Jokic. I like this. Go at him. Don't fade away. Go at him. Just can't hit the shot. But I like the attempt. Double drag. Switched and iced. Yet again. Good move by D'Lo. Gets Porter back into a pretty good position for the Lakers. Dennis, again, able to drive middle. And again, just not patient. It's not there. It's just not there. These are just bad read after bad read from Dennis Schroeder. Switch, drive, beautiful. That's what you like from Dennis. This is the value he provides. That ability to just win at the point of attack. I told you pregame, I told you pre-series, KCP, Bruce Brown, Christian Brown, Michael Porter Jr., they've got some guys, well, not all those guys. Some of those guys are really good screen navigators. None of those guys are good. Stay in front, contain, suppress 1v1 perimeter defenders. These are all guys you can blow by. Draw the help, give it over to AD. So that was a really nice. Dennis has had some bad passes to this point. That was a really nice play. I don't like this from Dennis, though. You set the screen. KCP falls down. Somehow KCP is able to beat Dennis down the court here. Murray doesn't do a great job icing, but still D'Lo doesn't use the screen. He's able to get pretty in close. Another strip. Okay, so here we go. Wide pin down. Jokic jumps around so that AD can't really use it. So the back cut here is what's open. This is how the Lakers like to counter this play. It's supposed to be a screen this way to go up this way. Ideally catch and get to the rim. But if Jokic jumps out, the screen now becomes this way and the AD will cut that way. That's what you're looking for by not having Vanderbilt here in the corner. This is what killed the Lakers last series. When they tried to run this, is Vando's guy would just go over here and take this away, and then LA wouldn't pass to Vando. Because Porter's over here, instead of standing right here, which we literally saw the defense standing right here on this play, that back cut should be open. Let's see what the Lakers do. Nope. Oh, okay. All right. They ran it this is just a different set play. This is a ball screen the whole way. It just sets up the same. Again, bad closeout. Porter's closeouts are horrific, but Reeves tries that move where he just hangs in the air, and Porter does a really nice job recovering and swatting that away. Transition. Yeah, we'll get to D'Lo's defense once we get to that side of the court. I have some takeaways. I don't know how much they align with other people. I wasn't on Twitter a whole lot today. Got my tweets off, and then I got out of there. Edey hitting the midi. Step up, switch, drive, draw help, 2v1, get it to the open guy, open 3. Beautiful. This is Reeves able to beat Aaron Gordon, who apparently is a very good perimeter defender. Not in our data, but that's what Twitter's telling me. LeBron telling D'Lo to get to the left corner. He's trying to get the last shot here. Gets it to D'Lo. Ooh. Did this get... Ooh. I don't know if that was short-armed or blocked or what. Okay. All right, so we've seen the first half of the Lakers offense, Lakers half-court offense. As you'll notice here, from a points per possession standpoint, they were just about where Denver was. When it comes to transition, they were much more effective than Denver was, but Denver had way more attempts. All right, so let's see, what do we have here? Step up. Do we switch? Is that what happened? Okay. We get the switch. It's funny to me that in this play, Gordon starts on LeBron. First action gets Murray on LeBron. And then they screen to get Murray off of LeBron. I don't think they were anticipating that this switch right here would happen. LeBron attacks, no rim protection. What's Jokic going to do? Jokic is in no position to help. Absolutely no help whatsoever. Porter's horrific defensively on so many of these plays. He's big though. That's his redeeming qualities. He's very big. But you can get by. And here's another bad possession. What is this? 17. I don't care the shot went in. This is awful process. 17 on the clock. All of your teammates outside the paint. Guys for Denver in rebounding position. This is a contested mid-range pull-up jumper. This is a bad play. This is horrible. This is the one post-possession of 4 that he scored on this game. Five out, screen, it's switched. AD now has Gordon on him, Jokic on LeBron. LeBron with a decently open 3. It's no good though. Here, oh, nice pass. Okay, here we're going to see it again. Good rebound by Reeves. I like him crashing. And look at that. Backhand. Braun draws the protection, dumps it off to AD. He's going to finish strong. Jokic has no chance. That's a bad shot. I like this. Oh, I don't like that though. What the hell, Dennis? All right, so right here, this is one way to beat ice defense. I drew up, 11 the other day? This is one of those 11. This is called a chase ball screen. You pass it to the big man, and then you chase your pass. And we see a handoff, and then you look to attack, and then AD will roll. There's an empty side. What do I mean by that? There's nobody here. So AD should have a really good opportunity to roll on this play, as long as Dennis engages the defense long enough. Instead, he makes the pass from here, which is a bad pass. This is a bad idea. AD doesn't get to it. This is a bad decision. It's a bad decision. Unbelievable. I do not understand why D'Lo is not in these plays. Reeves is either D'Lo or Reeves are going to do a better job here. This is bad. One more dribble. It's going to take one more dribble. Get here, draw the help, let AD get downhill. If this guy doesn't help over enough, the lob's there. If he does help over, we now have a 2v1. That's the play. That's why the middle drives are so effective. Giannis with what what is this? I don't want to exaggerate. The fifth, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth bad pass from him tonight. I am frustrated for an offense that struggled to get into the middle of the paint. Is it 5? Okay, 5 sounds right. For an offense that struggled to get into the middle of the paint, when they have gotten there, it seems like 90% of the time it's been Dennis, and 100% of the time he's made a wrong decision. Here, Braun draws the help. Dennis is open. Gets it to D'Lo. D'Lo misses the shot here, I believe, right? Yeah. Decent look. He's in position. Try to get to rebound. Doesn't bounce his way. 5 out. Middle ball screen. Here, D'Lo, he gets middle. Puts it up, puts it in. Again, I would just like one more dribble. Just a little bit more. And Denver sending you some help. With an easy shot. Middle drive. It's deep. He doesn't roll hard, but is able to get a push shot uncontested. Uncontested. Should be an easy 2 points. That's a Papa shot. Here we get inbound into the Chicago action. Reeves getting middle. We got this over here. That's what we're looking for. AD doesn't really roll. But we do see Jokic just leave Reeves alone. He's able to shot put it in. Oh no, more post-ups. No. 14 on the clock, nobody in the paint. Bad shot. Bad shot. It's not a championship shot. So here, this is the one time I think D'Lo posting up makes sense. Post up in order to flow into a ball screen and avoid the ice. Because you drive middle. Gordon stunts over. Again, I want just one more dribble. But Gordon's able to deflect this. LeBron deflects it. It lands with Dennis. It's an attempted. You're so close. The Lakers are so close this game. This is a game where in the film room you say, guys, we were so close. This is like the 6th or 7th play where we had a middle drive, one more dribble, we engage the big man, and we've got AD rolling, or we've got a LeBron Stampede Cup, but we just get it out a little too early. This is a little too early right here. Aaron Gordon's still in a position where he's playing both men. You need to make him declare. If he declares to LeBron, you just keep driving. If you drive and he declares to you, then you kick it out. Braun puts it in, but that's not a play I'm thrilled with. Especially for a Denver team that here, ice coverage, 80 practice shot jumper, puts it in. Especially for a team that's only playing 8 dudes and really playing like 6 guys and then 2 guys like under 15 minutes. Put some pressure on these players. Middle drive, passes out early. But he passes out early because Brown here, he's a good bit off of Reeves. That one goes in. This is one where if he's a half step closer to Reeves, this isn't the right play. But because he's just that much over helping, I'm okay with that pass. Step up, switch, post up the mismatch. I feel like why is not every Lakers possession starting this way? Like, I know Murray's not in the game, but when Murray's in the game, immediately just get a switch and attack Murray in the post. Good play, D'Lo. Repost. Get a little bit deeper, draws the foul. Lakers are beat too early with their passes. We saw the same thing in the bubble against Denver. Denver was rotating really hard, and they were pre-rotating at the rim. And the Lakers, no, I'm sorry. Hang on, I'm mixing my stuff up. In that series, Denver was rotating hard. They were pre-rotating to the rim. What we were often seeing was, I don't know, 3, 5, 2, 4, 1. We'll say something like this. There's the defense. What we would often see is on drives, the defense was super early rotating over and putting so many bodies in the paint that what was available, because really what was happening was as soon as this guy got the ball, this defender was already rotating over, and this guy was already rotating down. It was that like pre-rotation and in anticipation of the Lakers getting these drives. And what the Lakers found success with that we asked for on the podcast, if you go listen to it, was pass out one step early because they're already open. You don't actually need to get deep to create them being open. So that's actually the kind of the opposite of what we've seen in this game so far. The Lakers are they're passing too quickly. They reach 2 on the ball. AD rolling. We've got a 2v1 weak side. Gets it to Rui. Lonnie's open. Lonnie puts it up. Lonnie almost puts it in. Don't hate it. Snap. Elbow. Chicago. Lots of guys helping over. Vanderbilt's guy leaving him completely alone. And the defense recovers. Oh, Lonnie, look at Rui. Look at him. Oh. This is a tough position. Where's AD supposed to go? I know he's got a smaller guy on him. Where's he supposed to go? He's got a guy driving. If he drives right, if he drives left, their dude's there. So what Reeves does is he sets a pin and flare screen. Smart idea, except for this is Jared Vanderbilt. That is not who you want to set a pin and flare screen for. What we see is the defense leave Vando alone and try to go over here and strip AD. He thankfully gets fouled and actually scores. But holy crap, what a bad process possession. Step up, switch, mismatch. Easy. Every play should start this way. I don't like that's so they're not even sending help. Like this is to me, asking Tim, what do you think of this defensive strategy? I think this is a bad defensive strategy. If you're gonna give up switches that easily, you need to be aggressively sending help. They're giving up switches and then they're just letting Jamal Murray try to defend Rui 1v1. This is how Murray gets in foul trouble. He gets 5 fouls. It's a bad defensive strategy, and the Lakers put up a ton of points against it. I think they just need to be a bit sharper about targeting it. No! What are you doing, Austin? Jesus Christ. Ah! Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I was going to say we just saw, this is the beginning of the third quarter. I was going to say the second play like this, no, we've looped back over again. All right. Let's get to the fourth. I'm getting upset. Hang on. We need to watch the Lakers. Let's get to the fourth. All right. Step up. Switch. This was the Lakers pop, Euro, usually an empty ball screen, but instead they flip it back over, and then Reeves is going to come up and set the step up screen. Oh. To go off Reeves' knee? Yeah. His shin, his knee. It's there, though. It's a hard pass. Lonnie might have been open there. His man was digging down pretty hard. Here, we see we actually see kind of a pre-rotation or pre-switch here with Vando coming up to set this ball screen. He comes up to set the screen. Rather than Murray chasing him, Jeff Green's the one that takes him. And now Murray's guy is Rui. They don't want to put Murray in the action. They're trying to avoid Murray being put in the action. So what do the Lakers do? They put both of the guys in the action. So now Murray has to be there. Smart play. 1v1. Where's the help? Where's the help? No help. And one. It's silly, man. If you're going to help down this hard, why not actually double? Here we go. Middle ball screen. Hard stunt from Gordon. Rui attacks the closeout. Layup. Immediate screen. Ooh, immediate post pin. Defense collapses, kick out. Bang. Good shot by Austin. Ball screen switched. Now we've got Jokic on LeBron. Here comes the help. What are we going to do about it? We've got a 3v2 over here. We've got to cut or screen. Here's Vando trying to set a pin and flare screen and commits an offensive foul. One of two pin and flares you try to set the whole game. Step up, short roll. Here we go. I like this. I like this. Find Rui. Do you find Rui? Yeah, he does. I love it. I love it. 3v2. Attack the rim unless you're stopped. If you're stopped, you've got a 2v1. And as long as you cut one of these guys, this dude's stretched so thin. Beautiful. Great, great cut from Rui. Good find from AD. Good finish. Can't stop that. Step up. Same thing. This time, Rui's not in the play. Reeves is open. He gets fouled. Belay set, swing it over, middle drive. You see Rui lift up from the corner to the wing, catch and attack. Porter again with the recovery block. Yet again here, we've got a middle opportunity. All you got to do, and these guys aren't comfortable with this. This is something that D'Lo is really good at, is take your time, put the defender in jail, continue engaging this guy, and give AD a chance to attack Dallin Hill as this guy's lifting up. If you pass out too early, Porter's able to recover, Green's able to recover, and you're fine as a defense. And that's what we see on this play. Passes too quick. You just have to buy just one more dribble. Buy me one more dribble. Porter's been a solid, rotating defender. His 1v1 defense has not been good. Here we can see down screen. Jokic tries to go around it, so Dennis just kind of flips it. We've got a flare, and AD puts it in. That hasn't really been his shot on the year, but that's a big one there. But Denver just keeps scoring. It's a 14-point game at this point. AD attacking the mismatch. He's got a lot of bodies around him. Fades away. I don't like this shot. Don't like this. Not at all. This is one where LeBron cutting here. If you just another dribble and then find this pass, LeBron's going to flush this. But it works out for LA. Nice play. Look at this screen from LeBron. He's coming from this side. Murray's looking this way, anticipating it's over here, and then he flips it around over there. Gordon's out of position now. Gordon would have been in position if the screen were here. Gordon's not out of position. Murray's now looking like he's at prom. And now Dennis is able to drive by. Lakers draw the advantage. Switch. Foul. There's a foul. 6-point game. 3.5 minutes left. If we get the switch again, oh, they're trying to show recover. They really don't want to put Murray on LeBron because he has, I believe at this point, 5 fouls. So that's fine. I don't know who this guy is, but he's having a good time. He brought his full gear. Reese makes it a 1-possession game. Under 3 minutes to go. Double drag. Again, show and look at Murray. Watch Murray. He's telling Gordon, get back, get back, get back so I can recover. Gordon's not doing it though. He says, switch, men up. LeBron drives him. Oh, and he just misses. Oh, and AD just misses. This miss right here by AD, that was the only miss at the rim that the Lakers had in the second half. So close. So close. And then out of this play, where it's like, oh, Rui might get it. Okay, maybe jump ball. Oh, AD might be in the jump ball. Actually, Denver's going to get a layup. Or a dunk. This is a huge play. This is one where if LeBron makes that or AD makes that, we're talking about a different ball game. The only miss at the rim of the half, and it after the scramble leads to a dunk. Here we go again. LeBron gets it to Reeves. Reeves puts it in. Look at Jamal Murray. Watch Jamal Murray. Man, what am I going to do? All right. LA's not going away. 5-point game. Again, trying to go at Murray. Dennis with the blow by. Kicks it out. One more pass. Reach for 3. Oh, no good. Slight contest. Okay. Foul, free throws. That's a 1-possession game. 50 seconds left. All right. So right here, you've got a mismatch. You've got AD in a position to hit a lob. You've got Rui strong side corner. You got a good setup here. You can't leave Reeves. Oh, that's a bad shot. Oof, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. What have you been having success with? Just attack. He's got 5 fouls. You know there's no rim protection. I get that it's a 3-point game. There's 48 seconds left. You don't need a 3 here. Had his chance. No good. No rebound. Denver ball. And that pretty much does it. At this point, there's just not enough time. Is this... Who's Reeves passing to right here? Is he passing to Rui? Is he passing to LeBron? I'm really not sure. I think he's passing to LeBron. And now it's really over. Down 6, 11 seconds left. Can't execute the play. Okay. So that was Lakers offense. What did we notice there? We saw a number of things. We saw offensively, and we'll see some better play on defense. Offensively, Vanderbilt he was hurting the Lakers 25% of the plays he was on court. We saw the defense leave him alone, send some extra help. That was problematic. He tried to set 2 pin flare screens. One wasn't used, the other one was an offensive foul. D'Lo offensively, not really involved other than posting up, which, is exactly the way you want to use D'Angelo Russell. My favorite post player in the NBA, D'Angelo Russell. Really, really odd decision there. We saw Denver switch everything, and switching everything is a good way to take D'Lo out of the game because D'Lo, he's a ball screen operator against drop or hedging. Like, he'll attack against drop, he'll pass, he'll be a facilitator against hedging. Against switching, he's a pass it to the mismatch guy. And his primary value offensively in this game was as a spacer. He just happened to go 0 for 2 on his spot up threes. He hit a couple of middies, attacking in ball screens. But some room for improvement. It's just not schematically, it's not his type of game where I expect to see him on ball generating a lot. It's more of a Dennis game. It's more of a Reeves game. It's more of a Rui and LeBron game. Attack, punishing those switches, especially with how easily Denver was giving them up. There's no reason to not go into next game. If Denver's going to give up switches this easily, just target Murray from the jump. Target Murray from the jump. Go after those switches. And then once we started to see the show and recover defense from him, with them refusing to switch them onto LeBron, that's when Reeves was getting those screen threes time after time after time. You can get short rolls this way. Like, it's not super difficult. If you want to make it a simple game, you can attack that way. If that's what your go-to offense is in the fourth quarter, why not have it be your go-to offense earlier in the game? Those are questions to think about. Because a lot of the Lakers sets, they just won't work against a switching defense. You have to go to different types of sets. But I would love to see more spread, step up, seal plays, especially for a team that doesn't have good help rim protection. Here's what that'll look like. Here's the offense. Here's the defense. We're going to set a screen on their hip pocket. Roll here. Single tag man. He's got a decision to make. Put this guy up. And this D'Lo, whoever it is, throw the lob over the top or hit the kick out three. That's what you're looking to do here. Step up ball screen, get inside position on your new defender. Because what you're going to end up with is 5 here, a man on his back, 1 against the dropping big, 2 here, and then his man, maybe he's with them, maybe he's helping down, and then the guys over here, they're out of the play. That's how you're looking to attack here. Attacking ice defense, we saw chase ball screens, we saw step up ball screens, we saw flipping of screens, we saw D'Lo post up into a ball screen. LA had some of their concepts. They ran Chicago action. They had some of the concepts to attack ice defense. The volume wasn't super high. The volume could be higher. It could be just a little bit sharper. If you're just looking at the highlights, yeah, they did the right things. But we need to look at like the play after play stuff. And looking that way, I think you had more opportunity to do a bit better. And we did see just, pointing it out, when the Lakers got to the rim, they did really, really well. So, liking that Lakers, there was a lot to like about the Lakers half-court offense. We did see Dennis and LeBron and D'Lo too early get rid of the ball on those middle drives. If they could just be a little bit more patient, they're going to have more success. And Denver's defensive personnel is fairly limited. Like the Lakers have a deep bench, the Lakers have a bench. The Lakers have guys they can go to. Like we could see Wenyen very well play real minutes. We could see Troy Brown play real minutes. They've got dudes that can play. We've seen Lonnie. We've seen Rui. We've seen Vando. Like I wouldn't be surprised at all to see like Lonnie and Vando lose minutes and then Wenyen and Brown get minutes. Like very feasible potentially. I don't know if Darvin will actually give Troy a try. Mo Bamba's a guy off the bench that once he's healthy, maybe in a game or two, he could be a contributor. Denver's got 8 guys. they're fairly limited in what they're going to do. Maybe they'll bring DeAndre Jordan in if Jokic gets in foul trouble, but that's not something they want to do. And so, as the offense, this is what you're going to be facing. Go attack it. And I think we could see more targeted attacking with the post ups, with the ball screens, with the step up ball screens. Dennis's passing needs to be better. I don't mind. It's not a problem to me if D'Lo's value offensively is as a spacer because he's a good shooter. So I do like having D'Lo and Reeves out there. They can each be on ball. They can each be off ball. No matter who Murray's guarding, you can stick that guy in the action. So you've got some good options that way. So let's stick to the Denver offense. This is from the start. I'm looking just at the half-court plays. Look at this play. Look at what AD has to navigate. One screen from Porter, second screen from KCP. It's a moving screen, by the way. Nice run block there. All to get an entry one step inside the three-point line. Double, bump, nothing. Look at Dennis recovers. There's nothing going on. D'Lo just happens to get blown by. Blown by. Murray misses the layup. Gets an offensive rebound, puts it back up, can't put it in. Gordon gets the put back. The double and bump was the strategy I wanted to see, and it did what I wanted it to do. It was not executed well. Like on this play, just stay in front, D'Lo. Stay in front. It's your man. It's not like it was this crazy mismatch. So that's frustrating. Well, no, I guess it wasn't. It was Dennis's man originally, but it's a guard. You should be able to stay in front there. And then with the three-guard lineup, you're now small in these situations. And if LeBron's not going to box anybody out, not trying to box Gordon out, you're going to have problems. We see a play later where the double and bump is beat with a cut, and it was because Rui fell asleep. So the concept itself did what I was hoping for it to do. All right, here we go. Let's see here. KCP looking to attack. Pretty heavy contest. 15 on the clock. Not a great shot for Denver. Puts it in. We've seen Denver score once so far. They already have 6 points because they got some transition buckets. Here, Reeves just staying in front, not fouling. Lets the help production get over. As AD rotates over, we see D'Lo's ready to play the kick out. Good defense. Here we get a down screen into the handoff. Kick out. Okay contest, but Reeves is just small. Here we go. Yeah, we got to step up screen. Lakers switch guard. Dennis facing the flare, recovers well. KCP off the handoff, though. Nice ball push off here. Whoop. Nice, good look. Doesn't go. But here it's Reeves again. Porter is able to get by him. Porter, was it a B minus? Offensive rebounding crashing skill. Second chance opportunity. Doesn't put it in. Jokic, third opportunity. Here we are. Crazy shot, no good. What was it, like the 7th opportunity on that one play? Unbelievable. Down screen into the handoff. Dennis nowhere to be seen. I'd be open to seeing some top blocking and sagging against this team. what the Lakers are going to do instead is switch that first screen, and it gives up the inside position. We're going to see Porter score here in a minute off of that. Here, just Porter again against Reeves. It's a tough shot, good contest. Disgusting. Two guys contest. And then you've got a point guard, and a point guard. Down screen for Jokic. Man off the movement. It's the off screen. What is in front of the screen here? Is this a bat? Is this a bird? What's going on here? This looks like a bird to me. This looks like a bird, folks. We've got wing. We've got a wing. We've got a little tail kind of going on. Is this a bat or a bird? Sound off in the chat. What is Denver cooking? What is going on here? That looks like a bird to me. All right, sorry, back to the action. I see a question in the chat. Is it fair to say there was a lack of effort as well as the lineup issues that caused the rebounding differential? I would say that the lineup itself was a problem. We saw plays where inevitably a breakdown happens, and then LeBron and AD both try to contest. And by contesting, they take themselves out of position to rebound, and now you've got three guards trying to rebound, and that's a problem. Or we saw plays where AD contests, and LeBron's defending on the perimeter, and then he's out of the play, and you've got three guards trying to rebound. Or LeBron just didn't box out. Like, if LeBron were doing all the little things and boxing out in a way that we just haven't really seen as much for a guy his age, doing what he's doing offensively, like, you need to just have other big bodies out there. You make the margins so thin. You need the right guys in the right positions to be able to defend and rebound otherwise, and it's too thin a margin to me. Here, down screen, Reeves navigates it well. He's right there on Porter, shuts it down. You get a switch. Reeves goes under. Jump by Brown, draw on the foul here. What does he do? So yeah, we see a little bump. Just having a big body. Like, throw a dart, you're more likely going to have a big body if you get someone else out there. Blocked by AD. This was transition, no good. Jokic offensive rebound, put back. And this is one where, like, Rui's trying to fight, and the ball just bounces. Ball bounces, like, over here. Jokic post up. Here's the double. There's the bump, and Rui falls asleep. Damn it, Rui. This is what we wanted. This was the whole thing. This was the idea. This is it. Jokic is doubled. He's not a scorer anymore. You bumped Lonnie from here over. This guy's not an option anymore. So now you've got 1, 2, 3 against 1, 2. You just have to guard these three guys. Rui's not looking at. Why is Rui staring at the ball? Rui this whole time does not see the cutter until the ball's already in KCP's hands. This is bad help defense. Gross. So the coverage is, it's not that the coverage didn't work. I want to see this coverage again. You got to be able to play help defense, man. Here we see Brown attack D'Lo. Let's talk about D'Lo's defense. D'Lo's offense we saw with Denver switching everything. His ball screen game was minimized a bit. He didn't hit his spot up threes. He got good shots. I think a lot of games he will hit those. This game he didn't. The post ups were bad. It's not what you want to see, but that's fixable. Defensively, he was blown by Murray. Brown just overpowered him here. He's going to overpower him a second time. He maybe get. I don't want to get ahead of my notes. We'll watch what he does. He was not very involved defensively. He was not challenged much. I only had in my notes him being challenged like 8 total times where he actually had to do something. Not a whole lot of rotating that he needed to do. When he did have to be challenged, he did not do well. Here, though, we see a nice play, not by him, but immediate threes out there. Lakers recover. Rui takes away the drive. Jeff Green's trying to set a pin and flare. LeBron does a really good job. He's playing the kick out. If Green gets this ball, Rui recovers. Yeah, there's nothing going on. Absolutely nothing going on. Jokic 1v1 against AD, nothing. Love it. And then LeBron throws it away. Lonnie's not looking. In theory, let's see, Lonnie's right here, then Lonnie's right here, and then Lonnie's right here. Maybe. Not a good pass. Kick out, shot no good. Nice play here. Takes like he's going for the handoff. That gets Lonnie to take one step in the wrong direction. Back cuts there. Beautiful. What a pass by Jokic. Rui helps. Gives out the kick out. Strong side corner 3. For a bad shooter, no good. Again, down screen into the handoff for Murray. He has it. Defense goes under. He's not comfortable shooting to his right here. The left here goes back right. Oh man, I feel like if you, no, I guess it's not there. Lakers end up switching. Something I did like with Vando defensively is when the Lakers needed to switch, he did a really good job of that. This was, as I talked about pre-series, his value defensively is really only because he's not. There's no real scoring wing for him to defend. His value in the series is if the Lakers decide to be switching things, he makes sense to put on Murray. That's the one situation where it's like, oh, we would want him on Murray over other dudes. Any other thing that you're doing, you'd rather have someone else out there because offensively they will be better and defensively they're a better fit. If you're switching, which we saw the Lakers do with these smaller lineups, yes, he does make sense. And he switched well. We saw that really dumb foul on the inbound play that cost the Lakers. We saw Bruce Brown, beat him on that rebound and then go coast to coast on the very next play. 4 Lakers were running back in transition. He was kind of in a light jog, and Bruce Brown scored at the rim. He only played 10 minutes. You got to be an energy guy if you're out there for 10 minutes. In the third quarter, Bruce Brown blew by him and had that really sick dunk at the rim. And then on the next play, Reeves drew a charge, but it was a charge because Vando was blown by, or he struggled to go around a screen, gave up a line drive at the rim. Reeves made a nice play. He had a nice steal on a Murray Jokic ball screen later in the game. But defensively, I saw some value for him. Offensively, he was problematic. Not all the time, only 25% of the time. Double, bump, nothing. Oh, hang on. We're back to this start of the quarter. Okay, that's why. I was like, oh, it worked again. All right. 1 quarter down. And so part of why the switching works well is Denver's offense does not do well against switching with no Jokic, just in general for them. They're not very good at that. And then in these lineups, like, look who we have out here. We've got Rui, LeBron, Vando, Lonnie, and Schroeder. A lot of these guys are fairly switchable. Switch, help block at the rim. Nice play. Now, if you do start Rui, that changes things. Now we've got who are you bringing off the bench? You're starting Reeves. You're starting LeBron. You're starting AD. Are you going to bring Dennis off the bench? Or are you going to bring D'Lo off the bench? If you bring D'Lo off the bench, let's think about this. What did we just talk about earlier? D'Lo offensively against a switching defense loses a lot of value. If you're going to play small and play D'Lo off the bench, he will not have an impact on the game offensively. If you play big with Wenyen and then you stick D'Lo off the bench, yes, now you've got a guy that you can, throw some lobs to or keep the defense out of switching because they're worried about that. And now against drop, he can do some things. That's what we saw when Wenyen played in, what was it, the first round? When the Lakers put Wenyen in, the defense, instead of switching everything, they play drop instead. And that opened up different types of looks. So if you're going to put D'Lo on the bench, I would want to play bigger with Wenyen out there. If you're going to put Dennis on the bench, D'Lo in the starting lineup, I think you're better spacing-wise in the starting lineup. And then Dennis off the bench, I think can do okay with these groups defensively. And then offensively, he can, against some switching, he can blow by guys. And so continuing to play small makes sense. It really depends on the lineup groupings you're getting. Vando, switch, in a good spot. Jeff Green trying to drive, get out. And yeah, there's nothing there. And then this is just the lamest offensive rebound of all time. Foul. Gross. There's a bad foul by Vando. Results in a free throw. It was before the ball was released. Here, switch. Good help by Rui. Good help by Vando. Tough shot, puts it in. Here we get a horns look. They're trying to go to the elbow. They do. Back screen is the handoff with the exit screen strong side. This is a tough play. I think ideally here you're clearing out the Gordon lob. You're getting a lot of action going here. You're clearing out for the Gordon lob. It's just not there. Vando does a good job. Instead, we see, what is that, Bruce Brown take a shot? Yeah. So here we see flex cut into the pitch and handoff, empty set roll. AD keeps good verticality, nothing going. Love it. Keeping AD at the rim is really nice. This was an interesting play. Secondary break, on a little flare screen on AD, and it just gives up the drive to Jokic. And again, Jeff Green not loving it. Works out more for the Lakers. Head. Murray posting up into the ball screen. I feel like he's got a shot here. Instead goes to the deep post up. 1v1, AD blocks it. Thanks for stopping by, Joe. We'll see you next time. I'll get this posted on YouTube later, so if you want to check out the rest, you can do so there. Here's a nice play. Passing look. Woo! I'm going. And Jokic is able to blow by AD because it looked like he was going to be passing. And AD's trying to be disruptive. He gets really high up in the air. When you're trying to stay in front, you want to be low. You don't want to be off your feet and as high as you can possibly get. I totally understand wanting to be disruptive, but that's how you're going to get blown by. First it off, Dennis is back. Jokic out here playing dodgeball. Head. Good play. Look at this play by Dennis. As soon as Brown picks the ball up, he sees he's trying to pass it this way. So he leaves, he sags off. This pass is taken away. He will not shoot this. This really hurts the play. Jokic is popping. These guards aren't looking for him. AD's able to defend the rim. Hand off, go under. As we said pre-series, Porter, he's a really good shooter. On the handoffs, he has not been as good. Jokic, good three-point shooter, doesn't take as many as he probably could. Lakers again going under, get the contest, no good. We get the offensive rebound, and he puts it in. A box out by LeBron. Scramble play, open three. Unfortunate. Ooh, nice spin move baseline. Good move baseline for Jokic. No help. Yeah, I mean, you can't really, it's really hard to help on a play like this because it's over. Right here, you already have to be over, and there's just no way to know that you need to be there. Nice. So we're not going to see Rui defending Jokic until I think the fourth quarter. Once we get to that, we'll talk through on the Denver side what you could do to try to counter that, and then on the Lakers side what you can do to counter those counters. Because I've got some things in mind. Nice play here. It looks like there's going to be a back screen by Murray for Gordon, and then it flows into the handoff look. Going to his left, he's good at these, puts it in. What is Dennis saying? Just late. He starts late. He like tries to get a hand on Gordon, kind of BSing, bumping the cutter. And then he's late. And then what I'm imagining happening here is he hears the bench yelling at him, and he's like, "What? I had to bump the cutter." That's me speculating. I have no idea what he said. Same play here. He's in better position, able to recover. Out here on Rui right there. Almost at halftime. Chasing over. Murray midi puts it in. I think he hit every single one of those this game, it seems like. And what do we get here? Transition. No box out. 80's not in the play. Second chance, millionth chance. Here's the play where Jokic flops a bit. Post entry. Let's see, 1v1. 1v1 gives so a lot can be made of the 1v1 post defense. When you defend that way, you're giving Jokic better opportunities to attack as a scorer. Another element of defending Jokic 1v1 is it allows Denver to get deeper into their concepts. If you're sending help aggressively, it's harder for Denver to run their sets and get weak side action and run all these different things where they're able to generate good passing looks for Jokic. Here, he's able to completely take his time. Murray sets up the cut, is able to fly by, get to a good look for him, puts it in. We back? Yeah, we're back at the start of the second. Okay, so we made it through the first half. We've gone through 46 plays. We got 44 to go for Denver, and then we are through our rewatch. All right, let's see what do we got. This was interesting. From the jump, we got Schroeder on Murray. Okay, that makes sense. AD on Jokic. All right, that makes sense. Reeves on Porter, LeBron on KCP, and we've got D'Lo guarding Aaron Gordon. Turnover. So we can top block Porter. He's not a frequent off-screen guy. So I don't know if that's necessary. But if you wanted to, you could top block to try to prevent some of these handoffs for him, KCP, Murray, all these guys. Murray going to his left, off a ball screen. That's his bread and butter. Bang. Here, Lakers go under. This time, Dennis is like trying to go under, but Jokic kind of rolls. Look at Jokic roll right here. You can't go under. The under's taken away. So Dennis has to try to go over, and in this time, Murray's able to get to his spot, take the pull-up three, go into his right, which is not something he's done frequently on this season. And I, at this moment in time, received about 40 mentions on Twitter asking if he can shoot go under his right or not from Denver fans. Does a nice job. So this is the thing, though. He's going to his right. He still has to look at him. He has to get square up. Dennis doesn't completely get stuck here playing peekaboo with Jokic. The shot isn't a good shot. Because he's not able to take it in rhythm. He has to get set again. Going to his left, though, he's much better at taking those. Good help by D'Lo. Murray, bad shot against Dennis. Good play. Yeah, so something I do think is viable is if the Lakers wanted to top lock the guys who could potentially off screen or handoff guys, top lock. So hang on, let me pull up the 8-man rotation. Make sure I'm not missing anybody. You top lock Murray, Porter, and KCP. That's it. And then you sag off Brown, you sag off Gordon, you sag off the other Brown, you sag off Green. You've got Jokic on ball. So in the starting lineup, you only have one guy you're really sagging off of. But in a lot of the other lineups that they'd run, you'd have two guys potentially sagging off, and then you're in a pretty good spot. So that is a potential route that the Lakers could look to take. Here we get a snap action cross screen. Jokic looking to attack. Is Dennis going to help? Is Dennis not going to help? Not helping. Jokic 1v1. Short jumper puts it in. D'Lo gets back cut there. Same kind of play here. This is the Denver just ran this play. They just put this guy goes over here, and then Jokic comes this way, and then he passes it here. This is what AD just saw. So instead of chasing over, he goes under. What does Jokic do? He reads it and fades this way because AD is running away from him. Smart play by Jokic. Catches with an advantage, is able to attack, draw help, kick it out to a good shooter. Puts it in. Let's see, what do we see here? Handoff. Dennis loses contain. LeBron helps over. D'Lo's trying to help down for LeBron to help the helper. Then tries to recover to help to get back out to the shooter. That's I guess what you want to see. That's what the rotation is supposed to look like. Down screen, defended well. Good play by LeBron. Look at LeBron in position to try to take away the cut. D'Lo takes one step over, then is able to recover. He's in good position here. In great position. He's in great position. He takes a bump, and now he stops playing defense. I like D'Lo as a rotator. I like D'Lo as a spacer offensively. I like D'Lo as a pick and roll operator when the defense isn't switching. Defense just happens to be switching. And then his on-ball defense isn't very good, and we see him be someone that Denver attacks on ball. He's hardly the only guy that's giving up shots. This was a play I was frustrated with watching live, and I called out on the stream because I didn't think AD needed to be as deep as he is. This is KCP we're talking about. You don't need to retreat here. Stand your ground. Stand your ground. That was frustrating. Here again is that Chicago action, but it's very downhill. It's not one of the plays where it's down screen this way and then there's a dribble handoff. It's very north-south. It's not as much this angle. That's tougher for a guy like, well, not just Reeves, but it's tough for the guy in Reeves' position to navigate. But he goes under, he's right there. No shot. Porter hasn't posted up much at all this year. The switch, they're in a good position, and then all of a sudden they're not. Porter just bumps AD, takes him that far away from Jokic, and he bails him out. That's disappointing. They were doing so well for so long on that possession. Here's that same cross screen. Get Jokic a touch. Is Dennis coming? He's stunting. He's not actually disrupting Jokic. I don't like this. This is not a good form of defense to me. Because let's think about how Jokic is backing down. Jokic is backing down directly to the rim. As we stated before, he is not one of these guys that's driving around you all that often. He's just going straight. So getting close and then recovering, getting close and recovering, but not actually getting close enough to actually try to disrupt isn't doing anything. You're just playing. We all played those video games. You're just timing up. Where's the bad guy, and then let me pass it when he's at the optimal position away. I'm totally blanking on the game. Any of those games you thought it would be, but back and forth and back and forth, and wait till he's right here, and then pass it out, and then he's out of position. If you're gonna send help, send some real help, and then bump over. What were the three things I wanted the Lakers to do from a help standpoint? Help fast, help aggressive, and then make it so the weakness on the defense's weak side. If you help aggressively, and this isn't here, this guy's open, and that's not what we want to see. So fast, aggressive, we're not going here. We're going all the way, and then help over. We want to play 3-on-2 and then do the right thing. Now, unfortunately, we have a 3-guard lineup, and so you're in a worse situation here to try to defend on that weak side. This group doesn't do that well. If you get Rui in the starting lineup, you're so much better equipped to run that form of defense, which is what the Lakers' go-to defense was against Jokic on the regular season, and it was the first defense they tried to use against him in this game, and then they just didn't have the size for it. So make that switch, and all of a sudden, I bet we see everybody's focusing on the Rui on ball with LeBron or with AD sagging off. We might just very well see the high doubles in the bump. So I understand why the Lakers are or aren't doing different things. They threw 4 different looks at Jokic as a post player this game. Nice slice action, trying to get Jokic cutting middle. LeBron bumps that cutter, which puts him out of position to defend this screen right here. We could look at this and say, D'Lo, what are you doing? He's got a lot of traffic in front of him. His guy just set a screen. So for a second there, he's thinking, what do I do? All right, no, I'm good. Now I'm trying to defend this. I've got no help. Nobody's here to help me. Where's Jeff Green's guy? Jeff Green's guy should be right here. Nope, Jeff Green's guy's taking away the cut because Jokic was cutting. So now we've got a 2 against 1. Great opportunity. Beautiful set play designed by Denver. Oh, Vando. Woo. Vando committed 2 sins on this play. First sin he got blown by. Second sin. Watch Lonnie's crotch. This is what we're looking at on this play. Boop. Under, but really struggling. Really struggling. Reeves draws the foul, but Vando really struggling here. Not a screen navigator. Little drive. Reeves is just he's not the biggest body, but he's there. He makes you have to hit tougher shots. Now the Lakers can go around. Good play here. I'm not sure what Jokic was looking at. He thought Lonnie was asleep. Lonnie was not asleep. Lonnie's got hops. Give me that. Lakers running. By the way, guess who? Guess in the chat. Who do you think? Tell me the Lakers name, the Laker player's name that contested the most shots at the rim this game. Let's hear some guesses. I'll shout out the person that gets it right first. Who do we think contested? Was it Lonnie? It was not Lonnie. Was it LeBron? It was not LeBron. One Rock got it right. Austin Reeves. Reeves contested the most shots at the rim in this game one. Surprising. I know, surprising. He's been there. Some as a rotator, some as an on-ball guy, just not being blown by. He'll cede some ground, but he'll make you finish over him, which has value. Here we see a Ram action, step up ball screen. Good help by Rui. Good help by Lonnie. Great help by the Lakers defense. And then yet again, look at this. Reverse pivot, fadeaway jumper. Oh man, these are just back-breaking shots. Again, it's looking like down screen for Jokic to come up. That's what we get. Ooh. Nice little look at Jokic's right arm. That hurts. But here, great job by Vando. We see AD yelling. You can see him yelling. Switch, turnover. We got a switch here. AD, staying with Murray on ball. Nothing going on. Vando gets the ball. Beautiful. All right. To the fourth. $22 plays. What do we got here? No Jokic, no AD. Ooh. Just the handoff. These guys run a lot of cool set plays. They got no switch beaters. They got that though. What the hell? This makes me angry. That was called a 3, was changed to a 2. It was a 2. Yeah, so Vando, AD, Rui can work defensively. Offensively, I worry about it. Lakers switching. There's just nothing going on. These are awful shots by Denver. Switch. Porter's got to make something happen. He does. It's tough. Here we get down screen for Jokic. He gives a little fake for Rui and then goes middle. And this was a theme. When Rui was on ball defending Jokic, we saw AD in the paint. AD's in the paint here. AD's not here at the lane line letting Jokic go to work. He's in the paint. He was so often in the restricted area. Rui could get all up into Jokic's body, make him uncomfortable. He's going to pull the ball up quickly, drive, AD's there, and then he's got to make something happen. That's a tougher situation. We do see here, look at, yeah. Jeff Green says, I'm going to set a pin and flare screen. Jokic puts it up anyway, no good. These are tough shots. This is what you want as a Lakers fan. Thoughts on the inverted pick and roll they run with Gordon Jokic. So Gordon setting a screen for Jokic. If you have AD on Gordon and you've got Rui on Jokic, you could just switch it. You want to contact switch. You want to try to get underneath. You don't want to be switching and then just light, easy switching and giving up lobs. That's the one thing you're worried about. Down screen into the handoff. Porter just dribbles to the 3-point line. 80 hand. I get that he's not a shooter, but just put a hand up. Down screen into the handoff. We see a lot of that. Again, Rui on ball, 80's lingering. They try to run the handoff. Lonnie recovers. They try to run a handoff. Lonnie's almost there. Rui, I don't know what Rui's doing. Why does he jump? There's no move here from Murray that says, like, it's not like he like faked a gap. Like, remember last series where Steph Curry, like right here, he like put both hands on the ball and it looked like he was about to shoot, and we saw, I forget who was on ball, that player jumped. I think it was Reeves or AD. They jumped. I don't know what Rui was doing here. Blows the contain. So I saw people calling for more Murray Jokic ball screens when Rui's on Jokic. Rui just ran a drop, and the Lakers guards just navigated screens really well. This is such bad offense. What are you doing? Ugh. Ugh. It's infuriating. Here we've got AD on Jokic. Reeves is trying to help, but not really. He's just leaving the shooter. And again, like, you're not helping. Right here, you're not helping. Either wait for him to put the ball on the floor to go after him. That's a viable option. You've got a couple viable, because again, understand, Jokic is trying to slowly back you down. He can't do that when he doesn't dribble the ball. When he's not dribbling the ball, there's no point in almost doubling. I would say, as soon as he puts the ball in the court, then double. And then if he picks it up, then recover. And then great. Either he passed it and you're there, or he didn't pass it and he picked the ball up and now he can't move any deeper. But allowing him to have not dribbled yet and just jumping back and forth and waiting for him to time it correctly to pass it out is, to me, that's a bad approach. We saw these digs be attacked quite well by the Denver offense. Let me pull the data on that. I locked this. Let me see here. Against the digs, they scored 8 points on 3 plays. Not good. Against 1v1, they scored 8 points on 6 plays. Not good. Against the double with the bump behind it, they scored 2 points on 2 plays, and one of them was that Rui fell asleep play. And then against the paint packing, which we're about to see in a little bit here, we actually see it. This is the last time this game we see this kind of post defense. Moving forward, we're about to see a lot of paint packing with Rui on ball against Jokic. Against that, Denver scored on 5 possessions. They had 2 points plus a shooting foul. So it was like 3.64 expected points per possession or so. I guess only looking at the free throw expected points. Nothing going on. Nothing going on. Look at this by Dennis. This is beautiful. Look, ball screen, AD does not need to help. Ball screen, AD does not need to help. To me, I'm still upset with this foul not being overturned. This is such light contact. Garbage call. This is great defense by Dennis Schroeder. Really good screen navigation. Just such good screen navigation. And that's why like Rui on Jokic doesn't matter as much when they're not setting real screens and Dennis is able to stay attached. So here, post up, AD's in the restricted area. Look at LeBron. LeBron is important on this play. If LeBron is standing here, Jokic takes one dribble in, AD steps up, Gordon's there for the lob. So LeBron on this play, he's kind of sealing Gordon off, knowing that he can recover to this guy if the pass goes out. But he's also taking this away. So AD's there to take the drive away. LeBron takes the dump off away, but LeBron's able to effectively play two players. This is why, as Gordon, you need to either get fully here to open this pass, or you need to get fully in front of LeBron to open this pass. You cannot be behind him or just kind of like in the middle. You need to make LeBron, and this is a technique adjustment that Denver can make. You need to decisively be on one side of LeBron. I guess inside or seal the outside. He's able to recover. Porter tries to drive. It's contested. No good. No box out. LeBron fouls. Bad closeout here by LeBron, by the way. Big steps. Here we see Dennis try to draw Murray's sixth foul. Murray says, "What is this?" No foul called. Pull up, no good. And then actually, this is a rebounding foul. Look at this ref. That's a rebounding foul. And Jokic free throws for the Lakers. Lakers make two. Again, we have Rui on Jokic. Look at this. Rui on Jokic. He's in the paint. We again have some paint backing. Reeves is happy to help down a little bit, but not too much. And the fact that Jokic he's catching. So we just saw a couple plays. We saw one play where Jokic was like here. No, maybe more like here. And there was a help down. That last play, Jokic was like here. So it's much easier to dig down and then recover. Just based on where his positioning is. Here we see the back screen trying to get the handoff. Dennis is doing a good job of rejecting it, so they float into the ball screen. Rui is able to get there, and then AD's there. Beautiful. This is a set play Denver's trying to run to attack here. Here they go to Jokic. AD's in the paint. So AD's here. If he tries to get any deeper, AD's there. We've got 2-on-2 over here. Dennis maybe wants to get a little bit higher, but Dennis's responsibility is here. This could be problematic. I want LeBron to sink down just a little bit. That's what we're looking at. If you're Denver, how can you look to counter this? That's going to be their key question. This isn't the first time they face this issue. I think there are a couple things you could do. If AD is on Gordon, have Gordon be this guy. Make the post entry. With AD be here. AD is no longer in the paint. What can you do from here if you're the Lakers? Again, Gordon's up here. We've got AD here. We've got Rui here. We got defender, defender, defender. Double and bump. Now AD is doubling. You've covered Gordon. You're taking care of these guys. Now on the weak side, you don't have that great cutter. Hell, you may be able to double, and then not bump over. Just kind of sag in here, take the cut away. We're okay with Gordon shooting. So he's one of those guys that you can double off of, and then all you're really worried about is him cutting through this, which is where, as long as you don't have to go all the way out to him, but if you can just sink in a little bit and then have the other two guys play this, you should be in okay shape. 2 on the ball, Jokic becomes a passer. We're here, the cut's not available. We've got guys able to take these away, and they no longer have a big body. We've got Murray, KCP, and Porter on the perimeter, probably all standing around. They're not going to be able to run effective actions that way. They need that cutter. What they're probably going to do is cut and then space behind it and then space out. But you're there for the cut. So in what I'm proposing here is if AD is in Dennis's spot and Gordon is in Murray's spot, you help. Just send the help. The whole idea of AD off of Jokic is that he's able to disrupt the rim either for Jokic and or for these other guys. If Murray is over here, AD, where he's standing currently in this play that we're watching, he's in that position to take both away. If LA does truly defend down here and they've got 2 on Jokic, now AD's playing the weak side and he's in a position to take away cuts at the rim. But if AD's standing here and Murray's standing here, the best thing that he can do to take both of them away is to double. So that's what I would expect the Lakers to do. Or you could just have AD switch onto one of these other guys. Great. Gordon's standing at the perimeter. AD's going to stand here anyway. And you're still going to end up in the same situation. And if we have Gordon standing here and Porter standing here in the dunker spot, how is this any worse for the Lakers defense? So that's what you could look to do. Because AD has some mobility. So either just LA just switching him off of Gordon or doubling. I think those are 2 potential counters for Gordon going to the perimeter. Or if AD switches onto another guy, Denver bringing that guy out to the perimeter. Now, what could also happen is if we've got Gordon here, and I don't know, how do we want to draw this up? We'll have the same setup, but Reeves is where AD is. AD is right there. Reeves is right here. This is KCP. Now what we're trying to do as Denver is, if we can set a screen for our off-screen shooter, trying to take advantage of the fact that AD wants to be helping here, we create a 1-2-on-1 instead of a 2v2, and that's how we're looking to attack. As the Lakers, what can you do? Kind of cramped space here. You can top lock, and you're sagging with AD. So I think a top lock and a sag works just fine. If they're trying to run action with if we've got, actually Jokic should be a little bit further out. And then we have Gordon, KCP, Murray, Porter. Top lock this. Sag off. Stunt and recover. Where's this guy going? Where's he going? He's not going to be able to go this way. You're taking that away. If he cuts this way, great. You're going towards AD. I don't know, man. I saw too many people on Twitter be like, "Oh my goodness, this is super beatable. All Denver needs to do is just not put Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot." Great, that works if the Lakers just don't do anything. Every adjustment is either genius if you can't think of what the next team can do, or it's stupid if you can think of what the next team can do, and that's where your line of thinking stops. Like, you got to be able to think some steps ahead. So they can say Gordon on the perimeter, great. LA can switch AD off of him onto another non-shooter. Or we could see Denver bring the other guy that AD's guarding out to the perimeter, or if Gordon, AD's still on Gordon, bring him out to the perimeter, and then the Lakers could double and bump, sending that double. Or we could see them try to use Gordon as a screener for off-screen opportunities. Great. We could top block and sack. Like, I have yet to see a proposal where the Lakers aren't able to do what they want to do, as long as they're actively engaged tactically. Here, Jokic tries to get in. Good job by LeBron. Look at this tight window because of LeBron. If LeBron's not there, this is a much easier pass. 80 cents help. Rui's there. LeBron's there. Reeves is taking away the pass. Dennis takes away the pass. If this is a skip pass, LeBron's able to recover. Tight windows. Don't mind Gordon trying to get in front there. That's what you want to see him do. It's just a tight window with where Jokic was going. Ram action, down screen into the ball screen, and we've got an exit screen here. And look at Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder right in front. Right in front. What do we got? We got nothing. Great play. Just ran a great set. It didn't matter. Rui didn't have to do shit. Rui's able to play high drop, and you're completely covered. 80s in the paint. Again, Reeves doing what we saw LeBron do before. He gets a body into Gordon, and then he's ready to close out. And he actually does. Look at this. As Jokic is fading away, look at this beautiful coordination from the Lakers defense. Right here, Reeves is cracking down hard into Gordon as AD's here. The second he's fading away, we see AD turn to take this guy away because Rui's on Jokic, and then Reeves is closing out this way. Dennis has here. LeBron has here. Beautiful timing. This is synchronized swimming of help defense here. And then just unfortunately, we see Gordon get one of the two offensive rebounds for Denver in this fourth quarter. AD's making contact, but AD's not controlling space. You haven't won space. Gordon owns all of this space. AD owns all of this space. But the rim's here. Ooh, the rim's like here. The rim's there. The space that Gordon controls is more valuable. And he gets the ball. Help. 80's in the paint. LeBron again does a great job. He's playing two guys and he does it adequately. Really, really good game from a help defense standpoint for LeBron James in these situations. This is a tough one. You stop Jokic. He kicks out. Reeves in a closed stance is back completely to his man. This is good and bad. Why is this bad? This is bad because what we just see, he now has to flip his hips. And that puts him in a situation to get blown by. Why is this good? From this stance, he's much more likely to be able to get a deflection here compared to if he were facing this way or had an open stance standing this way. So there are pros and cons to this. This is something that Mick Cronin at Cincinnati, I'm assuming he still does it at UCLA, would teach, is these closed stances. Because on these pass outs, you're much more likely to get tips. But he doesn't. You see KCP attack, and KCP, oh man, tough layup, clutch shot. And for the folks that watched Vando and were like, I need more Vando on Murray, you need to be, in that strategy, you're switching. When we're playing Rui on Jokic and Denver's go-to is, we'll just run more ball screens, and it doesn't matter because Schroeder's able to just navigate around them, that's not a situation where you'd rather just have Vando and switch. Rui has the lower body strength to be able to, the low center of gravity to be able to hold his ground a bit more against Jokic. That's not Vando's game. You see, how many screens here? 1, nothing. 2, nothing. Heavily contested shot, no good. Reeves and Dennis did a great job screen navigating because they're great screen navigators. I hope that's evident from this film. Here's a good play. Ball screen. Ball screen. Short roll. Flare screen. Because 80's not the man helping. Dennis is the man helping. And this seals Dennis in so that Jokic can make the pass out. Great play. Good play. Dennis tries to sell it. KCP misses the shot. Really good opportunity. And this is off of what's basically a double drag action. This is one where I'd want, if we're thinking about how the Lakers have shut this down, well, because really, middle drives are tough. Middle drives hurt you. This is where you switch this and have Reeves cut out, switch out, and take away this line. And you know what? Maybe they don't want to do that. I take it back. Because now we've got Jokic rolling to the double side. And in theory, this is better than Jokic rolling to the single side. Although, I guess another way you could argue this is, hang on, I'm debating my own head here, myself. If you force Murray this way, he's driving into a defender that's guarding a guy right there. And so Rui's much better able to just stay on Jokic. So actually, with how cramped it is, yeah, no, I am fine with icing that. How good is Lonnie's screen navigation? He's not been very good on the year. We saw some decent off-ball screen navigation from him. That's been a skill he's been better at. But his on-ball defense as a perimeter player, what is this? What is Jokic doing here? His on-ball defense and his on-ball screen navigation not the best. What the hell is this? What is this? They didn't teach me this one in practice. I don't know what that is. I don't know that it's a foul that I'm complaining about. It's a really bizarre move. Here. Interesting. So, what ends up happening here is Rui is almost 3/4ing low. Usually you 3/4 high. And what I mean by 3/4 is if you're fully in front, you're fully in front. You could be fully behind. Or you want to be on the high side with a hand out here, hand high, making it so that the only pass is like in this direction, kind of lobbed over the top. You want to pull the player away from the rim, and then on the pass, you either recover or you sell out and try to tip it. If you're not fully in front, but not fully in front, not halfway, but 3/4. You're 3/4 of the way in front. This is where you are. You got that hand out. That's 3/4 high. Now, you're not fully in front. You're not halfway there. If you're 3/4ing low, you'd be here with a hand out, trying to make the pass go here into the help. It's not a frequent post defense. Rui's not really 3/4ing low, but we effectively get that kind of situation. And I'm interested to see here. Does AD get the ball? No, AD fouls him. Good call. I think that was the only time they got anything going. No, I think they scored one other time against the paint packing. And the game's over at this point. So we've gotten through our game. So a couple things stand out to me that I haven't mentioned yet. From an offensive rebounding standpoint, Denver had 9 offensive rebounds in the first quarter. Well, I did mention this. 4 second quarters, so 13 in the first half. Only 2 in the second half. LA cleaned up the rebounding. I think with LA moving Rui to the starting lineup, as Chris Haynes has reported they're considering doing, and is what I recommended pre-series. I'm hoping they do it. They're a much better setup. They've got an extra big guy on the court. They're better set up to rebound when Denver's is with some of their bigger lineups, where they got Porter and Gordon and Jokic. Those are groups where you want to have more size. From a free throw standpoint, what did we see when it came to free throws? Let's see here. Let me pull my notes. Okay. So Lakers, Denver, first quarter, it was 2-4. Second quarter, it was 4-6. So at the end of the first half, the Lakers had 6. Denver had 10 free throws. In the third quarter, 7 for the Lakers, 0 for Denver. In the fourth quarter, prior to, if we ignore the intentional fouls, like with 30 seconds left in the game, Denver had 8. The Lakers had 13. 20-8 in the second half, after 6-10 in Denver's favor in the first half. So from and again, hey, intentional free throws count, but not for what I want to do right now. 20-8 in the second half after 10-6 in the first half. This was a result of the Lakers doing a better job getting to the rim. They ran ice beaters better. They were able to get out and run a little bit better. This was very effective. So the offensive rebounding, first half, second half, very different. The free throws, first half, second half, very different. Transition possessions went 10, 9, 2, 2, quarter by quarter. So transition, first half, second half, very, very different. Jokic post defense. In the first half, 60% of the time, the Lakers let him play 1v1. Not good. Didn't go well. Second half, 27% of the time. So the post changed. The lineups changed. The matchups changed. What else did we see? What else changed in the second half? The ice beaters changed. All of these things changed. 7 things here. First half, second half, we saw big changes. Some of these are related. Ice beaters, set up the free throws. The lineups help with the rebounding. The post defense helps with the transition. It helps with the free throws. All of these, the matchups helps with the post. So some of these are related. But this is a lot of areas where the Lakers in the second half, they won the second half by, how many points did they win it by? They were +4 in the third quarter, +8 in the fourth quarter. And really, man, that Jokic bailout 3 at the end of the third. They really should have been +7 in the third and then +8 in the fourth. Maybe +10 in the fourth with that Murray crazy shot. And it's not like the Lakers didn't hit some tough shots too, but there were a number of super late clock shots for both teams, not just Denver, but for both teams, where they really overperformed their norm and their expected shot quality. It's not like, hey, late clock, we just generate really good shots. No, you overperform late clock. Denver scored a dozen points off that. So there were a lot of ways that the game itself changed in the second half in ways that favored the Lakers. So we need to see what carries over. 4 out of 4 games the Lakers have lost in the playoffs so far, we saw things that happened in the second half that carried over into the next game and helped them win the next game very directly. If the Lakers fix the lineups, they fix the matchups, they fix the post defense, they are better set up for transition by playing better defense, playing better offense. They're better set up for winning the free throw battle with better setup, running their ice beaters. All these great things play into each other and are all key. Denver shot like 70% on their long twos. I don't think that's sustainable. The Lakers shot like 85% at the rim. I don't know that that's sustainable either. But I know that Denver's rim protection is not very good. And I know that Denver hit a lot of contested mid-range jumpers that to be honest, I don't expect them to hit. Now, overall shot quality, Denver, I think, outperformed the Lakers. And it had to do with them getting so many opportunities in transition and offensive rebounds. When you get like, we saw that one play that like it wasn't 7. They got like 4 offensive rebounds. They had several putback attempts. They didn't hit them, but those were super high quality shots on paper. When you add all those putbacks up, you add all the transition up, they're going to have some good shot quality. Second half though, when the putbacks went away, when the transition went away, I would imagine, I don't know the answer to this, but I would imagine that the Lakers vastly outperformed Denver from a shot quality standpoint. And that is the piece that, because the game changed, the lineups changed, the matchups changed, the scheme changed, the tactics changed. That's the piece that I think has a better chance to carry over. So that's what I'm looking at with this game. We saw some guys perform well, some guys not perform so well. With D'Lo, you can put him off the bench if you run the bench the right way to set him up. If you're going to play small, I don't think playing him off the bench makes sense. Vando, he had some bad offensive minutes. He had some good defensive minutes in a switch scheme. If you're continuing to switch, then yeah, it makes sense. If you're going to put D'Lo on the bench and put Wenyen out there so that offensively that things are working a bit better, you may not be switching defensively, and thus Vando make less sense and go from 10 minutes to 0 minutes. And then it's, hey, Troy Brown makes more sense right now. So to me, and going a step further in a different direction, if you've got Rui out there in the starting lineup, the doubles and the bumps make so much more sense than some of the other types of help that we saw the Lakers go to. The double and help, the double and bump on the regular season for the Lakers, in the regular season in general against Denver, in the playoffs against Denver for the first two rounds, it was the best route. It's not when you're tiny. That's the problem that we saw the Lakers run into the first couple minutes of the game. As soon as they start Rui, that's not a problem anymore, and it suddenly becomes a much better available option. So don't be surprised to see the Lakers double with that bump over on the perimeter. Again, looking like Jokic post up, 5, 4, 1, 3, 2. Oops. Defender, 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 defender. Hard double, bump over, and now we're playing 1, 2, 3 on 2. If you're tiny, this is problematic. If you have reasonable size, and we've got LeBron and Rui, and we've got AD and I don't know, Dennis or D'Lo, this is gone, and you've got big dudes here, and you're taking this pass away with a guard on a guard. Reeves on Murray, and now LeBron and Rui are able to take away these weak side actions. So I have confidence. I saw a lot in this game that makes me feel pretty good. It really stinks that you didn't win this game. There's absolutely no argument to say that, you're happy you're down 0-1. You want to be up. But I don't think we're close to the final form tactically for either of these teams, especially with the Lakers, with how much more they have to throw at Denver, with how many more players they can potentially throw at Denver. I just mentioned 2 guys I think can play a key role. Haven't played a single minute in this series yet. And so we may continue to see this evolve. It'll just be, the Lakers need to push the right buttons. If they push the right buttons at the beginning of game 1, I think they win game 1. And so I'm hoping they're able to figure these things out and approach game 2 a bit better. You can't, for half the game, be doing the wrong things and then trying to figure it out halfway through. That's not going to be good enough. Denver's too good of a team. The Lakers have a lot of buttons to press, just like One Rock is saying in the chat. The Nuggets, they have fewer guys. There are tactical options available, but there are fewer players available. So their playbook is more limited, or tactically, I should say. They have plenty of sets, but tactically, they have fewer potential routes to go, especially defensively. So those are some of the things I noticed. Thank you again for everyone for stopping by. If you join late, I'm going to try to get, I will. I'll probably do this tomorrow morning. I need to go to bed. I'll get this posted onto YouTube. We will see you tomorrow for the game. I've got some folks coming to visit, so I don't know exactly what my schedule is going to look like the next few days, but I'm trying to prioritize streaming. I may have a live audience for the next stream. We'll see what that looks like. But thank you, everyone. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. Thank you for the feedback. Feel free to share the love, share the link, share the good word, bring some more folks over here. It's always fun chatting basketball. I appreciate the chat here tonight. You had some good questions, some good comments, really insightful stuff. And maybe there's stuff I'm missing. I'm happy to be able to be challenged or hear ideas. Idea conflict's good. Social conflict, that's not good. I don't want people to be like, yeah, you suck. But if it's like, hey, well, what about this? Or what if they thought about this? Or have you considered this? Like those are things I'm interested in. Well, hey, if you do that, what if they beat it this way? That's how we get better. That's how we have good conversations, challenge each other, can figure things out. So thank you. Have a good night, everyone.